Morning everybody, Steve Murray here. I'm the co-founder of Health Architects South Africa, and I thought this morning I wanted to share what in our world we call a clinical pearl, just something that maybe would have some value out there. For those of you who have been maybe see our YouTube channel or maybe do programs with us or whatever, you'll know that we are prevention people. Okay, it's our business. We are in the business of preventing, treating, and in many cases reversing chronic illness using lifestyle change. That's what we do. So we know already, for example, that exercise is medicine, and that's not a hyperbole. We know that's true. We also know that food is medicine. Also, not hyperbole at all. And but there are some others, and one of them is happiness. Happiness medicine. And our mindset coach Warren Flatt reminds me of that all the time. He says, what's the health and happiness? Health and happiness, they go together. So yes, happiness is without doubt medicine. So before I tell you about this happiness medicine, because it's not the only one, certainly by no means exhaustive, but what I'm going to say is this. If you do this, you have a significant chance of being happier. And that's cool. So before I get on to it, by the way, the medicine I'm going to talk about this morning is 2 words. Two words only. But there's some important things about understanding it before you take it, like any medicine. You need to understand the dose and how much and how often and so on. Like we know in physical activity terms that there are 2 really important things: how much and how hard. So in other words, the volume and intensity of the exercise that you're doing. Those are the 2 critical things from a health perspective that you need to get right. When you look at food, for example, there are a few more. So there are 5 from our perspective that are important you get right. You have to get quality right. You have to get variety, high quality right. You have to get the pro versus anti-inflammatory balance right. You need to eat whole food. And I don't want to digress too much, but someone asked me the other day, okay, but how do you know it's whole? Is it whole? Isn't it whole? It's complicated. No, it's not complicated. If it's got a food label on, it's not whole. That's simple. So it's really not complicated. If you want to understand if a food's whole, just look if it's got a label on, food label. If it does, it's not. If it doesn't, chances are it is. So whole food is really important, and then finally is predominantly plant-based. So those are the 5 things you need to get right when it comes to food. We know what the same with physical activity. So really important for this little clinical pearl here, there are 4 things that you really need to get right. So the first one is frequency. Frequency is super important. You need to say these 2 words a lot, as often as you can. And again, quick heads up here, this particular medicine has been shown to be way more effective for men than for women. Way more effective. Doesn't mean that if women take this medicine that there isn't a benefit. It just seems to be significantly more effective for men. So you need to say these 2 words often. You also need to say them aloud. Okay. So you can't beam me up, Scotty, yet. You can't project it. You can't say it with your inside voice. You need to say it aloud. Okay. And so we know frequency as often as possible, aloud. And then the next one is also really important. If your brain tells you that you don't have to say those 2 words, that is exactly when you must say those 2 words. So whatever you need to do, stick sticky notes all over your house, tattoo it on your forehead, whatever you need to do. Just make sure that when your brain says you don't have to say them, straight away you go, yes I do, and you say them. So that's the third one. And then there's 2 more. Where are they? So we know it's as often as possible, we know it's allowed, etc. The fourth one is, it's really important, and I got this from one of my absolute mentors in any work that I've ever done. But Mr. Brian Beer, world-class sales director of the business I used to work for, he used to say, you know what, see, you can't fail. You cannot fail in sales if you are presenting your product every day, belly button to belly button, eyeball to eyeball, with passion and enthusiasm. So that's also really, really important. And you know, this particular medicine, again, people say all the time, you know, that preventative medicine doesn't have a cost. It does have a cost. It's always a cost. So with exercise, for example, yes, it's freely available, but there's an opportunity cost to actually doing it. You know, and that's one of the things you have to get to understand. Eating really well, there's a direct cost to that, because we live on processed food, which is cheap. Okay, so in this case, there's an opportunity cost as well. In fact, in this one, there's less of a direct cost, but there could be a secondary cost. We'll get to it in a second. So, what's the medicine then? What are the two words? Super simple. And this is really for my brothers out there, my fellow men. The two words are yes, dear. Yes, dear. And you can change out dear for, you know, skatebol, engeltjie, desert blossom, you know, whatever you want to. Just make sure that when you say that the passion, enthusiasm, belly button to belly button, eyeball thing is there, you know, that kind of stuff. Because here's the thing, the risk and reward equation in those two words is very high. If you get it right, your happiness goes up immediately and can stay up there for quite a long time. If you get it wrong, it can drop significantly within seconds. So it's really, really important to not get those things wrong. And so the opportunity cost, quickly to understand, or the secondary cost. Here's an example. Saturday afternoon at the golf course, you won close to the pin on the 7th, and you know, things are looking good. And your phone rings, and you realize that this is one of those times that you do need to say those two words. Now, here's the thing. There will be a cost from the rest of your four ball who are going to rip you off mercilessly, but trust me, the reward is definitely worth it. You see, I'm a very slow learner in these things. I mean, I was taught this a long time ago. Doesn't mean I learned it, but I was taught it. So anyway, I'm working on that at the moment. So real quick, summarize. Happiness medicine, two words, yes, dear. Yes, dear. That's all. Say it often. Say it with the outside voice. If you don't think you need to say those two words, you do. And the final one is passion and enthusiasm. Get it right, it will change your life. Get it wrong, it's going to be a very long day. Have fun, y'all. We'll talk again soon. Bye.